Every day begins with friction people rarely question. A phone battery dying faster than expected, floors that never stay clean, keys disappearing at the worst moment, cables tangled, lights left on, notes forgotten. None of these are disasters, but together they quietly exhaust attention. They steal time. They drain patience. They fragment focus. Life feels busy not because of big crises, but because of hundreds of tiny inefficiencies repeating every day. The uncomfortable truth is this: modern life is surrounded by problems that technology already knows how to solve. The real question is why so many people are still living with unnecessary friction. Most people assume stress comes from workload, deadlines, or responsibility, but look closer. Stress usually comes from interruptions, from constantly having to fix small things, from mental clutter created by remembering what should not need remembering. Did I turn that off? Where did I leave that? Why is this still charging so slowly? These questions seem minor, but they repeat constantly, and every repetition steals focus. The right gadgets are not about convenience. They are about reclaiming mental bandwidth. The most powerful gadgets today are not flashy. They do not beg for attention. They quietly integrate into life and remove effort. They do their job so well that they almost become invisible. And once they exist in your routine, living without them feels strangely inefficient. Smart plugs are the perfect example. They are simple devices with an outsized impact. Lights turn off automatically. Devices stop drawing power when they should. Appliances run on schedules instead of memory. Instead of relying on discipline, routines become automated. The mental load lifts quietly. Fewer things to track. Fewer things to double-check. Fewer mistakes. Over time, the brain simply relaxes because fewer background worries exist. That is not convenience. That is cognitive relief. Every tiny decision costs energy. Turning devices on and off, checking switches, worrying about wasted power. Smart plugs eliminate dozens of micro decisions every week. Not by adding complexity, but by removing it. After setup, they fade into the background and simply protect your time. Cleaning technology has followed the same evolution. Floors accumulate dust constantly. Traditional cleaning waits until the mess becomes visible, which turns cleaning into a stressful, time-consuming event. That is why it gets postponed. That is why it becomes overwhelming. Robot vacuums with intelligent mapping change the entire rhythm. Instead of reacting to mess, they prevent it. They learn room layouts. They move with purpose. They clean consistently. Floors remain presentable without effort. Older models felt like toys. They bounced around randomly and missed half the room. Modern ones behave like systems. They understand space. They follow efficient routes. They remember where they have been. The difference is not cosmetic, it changes behavior. Cleaning stops being a chore and becomes background maintenance. The home feels consistently clean instead of periodically overwhelming. Cordless stick vacuums follow the same principle. They remove the biggest barrier to action: effort, no cords, no heavy setup. No delay. When crumbs appear, they disappear in seconds. This seems small, but behavior changes when friction disappears. People do not clean more because they are suddenly disciplined. They clean more because it is easier to clean. That pattern repeats across all effective gadgets. They do not rely on motivation. They rely on convenience. And convenience shapes behavior more than willpower ever could. Now think about mornings. The chaos, the rushing, the pocket checks, the familiar panic of missing keys. That moment where everything stops because something essential cannot be found. Key trackers eliminate that moment completely. A phone shows exactly where keys, wallets, bags, or remotes are. No searching, no stress spike, no wasted time. That calm matters more than people admit. A chaotic morning leaks into the entire day. Frustration compounds. When mornings begin with certainty instead of chaos, the entire rhythm of the day shifts. Confidence increases. Focus stabilizes. Stress decreases. Phones are another fragile dependency. Navigation, payments, communication, scheduling, authentication. Everything depends on battery life. Yet battery anxiety is still common. Power banks with built-in cables solve a surprisingly large problem. No forgotten cables. No extra accessories. One compact object handles everything. Phone remains alive without planning. A dead phone no longer means mild inconvenience. It means broken navigation, lost access, missed messages, failed payments. It interrupts life. The right charging tools quietly remove that vulnerability. Magnetic charging cables take this even further. One cable supports multiple devices. Charging becomes effortless. Ports last longer. Cable clutter disappears. The experience becomes smooth instead of clumsy. It is a small upgrade that repeats daily. And small improvements that repeat daily are the ones that actually reshape life. In kitchens and bathrooms, automation improves hygiene and cleanliness in subtle but meaningful ways. Automatic soap dispensers reduce mess, prevent contamination, and deliver the right amount every time. People wash hands more consistently when the process feels frictionless. Clean habits stick when they are easy. The pattern continues. Systems shape behavior. Convenience creates consistency. Precision gadgets also play a role. Digital thermometers, smart kettles, and temperature-controlled devices eliminate guessing. Water reaches exact temperatures. Food cooks correctly. Results become predictable. Mistakes disappear. Frustration fades. The difference is not only in taste, but in confidence. Things simply work the first time. Mistakes cost time. Guessing costs energy. Precision saves both. Nighttime movement is another example of silent frustration. Walking through dark rooms. Turning on harsh overhead lights. Waking others. Motion sensor nightlights solve this quietly. They illuminate only when needed. They disappear when not. Paths stay visible. Disruption disappears. These are the best kinds of gadgets. The ones you only notice when they are missing. Smart notebooks solve a different modern problem, capturing ideas. Writing by hand improves thinking, but traditional paper leads to clutter and lost notes. Smart notebooks bridge the gap, write naturally, scan instantly, store digitally, reuse endlessly, ideas stop disappearing, organization improves, physical clutter fades. How many ideas vanish simply because there was no smooth system to capture them? How many thoughts are lost because friction existed between inspiration and preservation? All effective gadgets follow the same philosophy. They remove friction, they reduce decision fatigue, they automate repetition, they protect focus. People often believe productivity is about doing more. But real efficiency comes from needing to do less. Less remembering, less fixing, less adjusting, less reacting. When systems handle the repetitive, humans regain energy for meaningful thought. Ask honestly how many small annoyances repeat every day. Not big problems, small ones. Those are the real thieves of time. And most of them are solvable. When life flows without constant interruption, focus deepens, creativity improves. Rest becomes real. Stress decreases not because responsibilities vanish, but because friction does. Ease compounds. 10 minutes saved daily becomes hours every month. Hundreds of tiny frustrations removed become emotional clarity. Over time, life simply feels lighter. If one small upgrade removes a daily frustration, imagine the effect of several working together. Less chaos, more clarity, more time, more control. These gadgets are not about luxury. They are about intelligence. About designing life deliberately instead of tolerating inefficiency. You do not need more effort. You need fewer obstacles. You deserve systems that support you rather than drain you. Let tools handle repetition. Preserve attention for thinking, creating, resting, and living. Life does not need to feel heavy. It just needs better design. When small problems disappear, space opens for everything that actually matters. If this changed how you look at everyday routines, support the channel by liking the video. Subscribe for more breakdowns of technology that actually improves daily life instead of distracting from it. Share this with someone who always feels busy, because most busyness comes from poor systems, not real overload. And remember this, the best gadgets are not the ones that impress others. They are the ones that quietly make your life smoother every single day.